Good evening guys, welcome to the stream this evening. As we're here down in Conakry and we're going to basically do a flight to Dakar. Should be a nice early morning arrival as the sun starts to come up just as we come in, and we're going with Tunisair in the 737ZiboMod. So it should be a nice flight. We was going from Dakar to Conakry, but I want to show you because we've got the weather radar to work in the Zibo. There's a simple fix I'll show you guys just before we leave out, and the weather basically switched around, went the opposite way, and now it's all over in Dakar. So now we're going to go up that way to get the weather to work. So don't forget to like and subscribe guys, leave your comments down below, and then now we'll get inside the cockpit and start the aircraft up ready to go. So we've got the ground handling deluxe, which is just in, and they're doing whatever, just sitting there. But what we'll do is we'll get the checklist all done. There we go, we're going to get it done. So, E-Shot, could be well my man, hope you're doing well this evening. So we'll get everything all done, we'll get the checklist done. So we've got the parking brake which is set, we'll go overhead now. We've got the battery on and guarded standby, ground power is all on. We can get the left pump now and get the APU all up and running, ready to go tonight. It should be a fun flight, get some wind, now we'll get to see the weather radar working. So there's the APU on, get the position lights which can go on, which are checked, logo lights can go on as well, which are also set. Cabin lights, we can arm the emergency exit lights, we'll go and get the IRSs aligned. Test the flaps, test the flight recorder, can turn the dome light on. So there's the flight recorder, we'll do the speed warning test, which is all set for us. Could have done the APU as well, so basically just do that. See the overheat detection, should be checked. Overheat detection, and test the bulbs as well. Make sure all set and checked. Got a radio panel that all lit up, ready for us to go. So after that, from the APU, we've got the emergency exit lights which are set. Get the passengers, no smoking, which can go on, which is also checked for us. Packs with the trim air can all go on. Packs can go to auto, isolation valves open, we get the APU bleed on, and get the window heats all up and ready to go as well. We see what the doors open. Electrolyte pumps are off. Transponder which is set to standby, and we'll go and get the IRS now for the FMC. So we'll turn the dome light off. So we'll go and get everything all set up now in the aircraft. So we're going from Golf Oscar Bravo Delta. Just going to do it quickly. From there, I think I just basically, what I did was, I think just put Dakar in by accident. So what we'll do is we'll go overhead, quickly turn these off. Yeah, but there's going to be a fault, clearly. Because what we did was put Dakar in by accident. So we'll wait for them to go out, we'll see if we can get it all set. My mistake. We'll try it again. Different. So we're going from, it's Gucci, so Golf Uniform and Charlie Yankee. Should go in, that should do us, hopefully. Hopefully. If it doesn't, then it'll be the first balls up of the day, should we say. Hopefully they do come on. See how long it says. So as you can see, managed to balls the IRS up for some reason. So we'll see if we get the lights out. If they do, we'll try to get it on. So we'll just hold out, see what happens. So wait for the align lights to go out. One's already out, want the other one out as well. There we go. So we'll try that again. And this time we'll put in the departure airport and not the arrival airport, which would be a start. So we'll wait for that to be done. And then once that's all done, we'll align the aircraft, which should align itself. And then we'll be all set, ready to leave. So first time that's happened in a long time, I can tell you. So we've got the window heat, so everything's all on and set. We go in now. Get the IRS in again, we'll try it one more time. So there's Gucci. Let's just hope that this goes in. If it doesn't, it'll be screwed. As soon as that comes, then we should get our screens. So we'll just wait out. Golf Uniform Charlie Yankee. That's where we're going from. Okay, so there's the IRSs. So problem solved on that front. And we're going to be basically going from Golf Uniform Charlie Yankee. And we've got Golf Oscar Bravo Delta coming in before Dakar. So like I said, I'll show you guys the weather radar, get it working tonight. Finally found out how and why it wasn't working. It's something to do with something in the Avi tab for the Zibo. So if you guys fly the Zibo, I'll show you exactly why the weather radar isn't working at all. So we'll go on to our route now. We've got our departure. We'll go up and get our flight plan. Departure is going to be the X-Enviro Tunisair. We're going to be leaving out for runway 24. From there, once we get to X-Enviro, we've got the Uniform Bravo 600. That's going to take us down to Bravo Juliet. Then from Bravo Juliet, it's going to be the start of the arrival. We've got the Bravo Juliet 2 Kilo. Now I've got the charts up as well, so I can show you guys the charts. So there's the Bravo Juliet 2 Kilo. But we're going to come in as we come around the bend. We've got here, we've got Lippic for the initial approach fix coming down. So what we're going to do is, as soon as Bravo Juliet is just around the bend, we'll just basically come out. I want to find one with the ILS. What did I choose? It was the RNAV. So I'm going to need one with the RNAV in. I think Bravo Juliet had the RNAV. I think Bravo Juliet 2 Kilo. Yeah. So we'll take the RNAV in, and we're going to basically transition on Lippic and Gatro. We're going to leave Pilmer and that. We'll get that all sussed as we go up. So we'll activate the route up. Get the perf in as well. We've got 2 on the reserves. Cost index is going to be 7. On for our flight altitude, we've gone on 360. Should be set. Let's hold ground handling to go now. From there we get the ISA as well, 360 is going to give us 097004. That will also give us a minus 46. So minus 46, which is all set. Go to M1 limit, we'll take full takeoff. We'll come out to climb 1. Go for flaps 5. Got 141, 143, and a 152 for V2, so we'll go by 152. Which is set. Put on the flight directors as well, and leave the lights and everything as it is. 2,000 feet above on the departure route is when we make that right hand turn, which will then lead us up to X-Enviro. As you see on the departure, we're going to come out and basically roll around, swing a right hand turn 2,000 above, and then go all the way up to X-Enviro, which is right there. For the taxi, it's going to be pretty simple. We're just going to basically follow it out onto the runway. We'll turn around and then get ready to blast out of 24, which is going to be the 237. Okay, 237's in, and for the VOR, we've got 1149. So there's the VOR set. The TCAS, put it on TA now, as we're going to be nearly ready to go. So sort the arrival out as I come in, as I didn't really have a look at this flight. Just literally got up the charts just before we were about to fly, and now we was coming back in to this airport, so I had everything all set for it. As the weather's changed, obviously we're going back up, so I haven't really had a look at this too tough. So we'll sort that out once we get nearer to the airport. I'll go through the arrival and have a look and see what's in there. So from there we've got our indicated airspeed, which is 152 for V2, which is checked. Got the heading for takeoff, which is the 237, which is also set. Initial altitude going straight for 360. From there the yaw damper can now go on, which is checked. Window heats are all on, which is set. Flight, right, so we'll do pressurization for 360 and landing elevation coming down into the runway is going to be 290, so we'll leave that for 300, which is also set and checked. Flight directors are both on, LNAV and VNAV as required. Altimeter ref, so for the altimeter we can go in and get our meters, which will be all set for us. We'll do our speeds in just a minute. So for our one, we've got Golf Uniform at Charlie Yankee for Conakry, which we'll send in, go back for the takeoff. Flaps 5, once we get the winds and that, we'll punch that in as well before we go. It should be alright, it should be a really nice flight. We'll be able to see the clouds and everything as we do come in, and the sun should just be coming up as we, about 15-20 minutes into the arrival is when the sun should be coming up. So it should be a really nice view, like X-Enviro in as well, so you guys will have to see quite a bit. 22008 and 1011, scattered 1500, broken at 11,000, temperature's 26, dew point 23, no significant change. So 1011, 2208. Okay, takeoff speeds, there's our acceleration height, thrust reduction, engine out acceleration height as well. So put our speeds back in, go get sensor of gravity, yeah, 22.5, which going to give us 550 on the trim, okay, which is set, and that pretty much is us ready to go. We've got our radios in, which we can see, so that's it. Left and right center fuel pumps now can all go on, which are checked. Electric hydraulic pumps can go on, which are set. We can close all the doors now. Whoops, didn't switch over the APU. You just do that there. There we go. Okay, so now we switch that off, we can remove everything. Shouldn't have wiped anything off of the plan or anything, it should all be there, which is fine. Anti-collision light can now go on, which is set. All the doors are closed, ground equipment is removed, and engine area is clear. So what we can do now is we'll get the altimeter set, and then we'll get the pushback ready to go. Hope you guys are having a great evening today. Okay, so that's reserve gauge done, and what did I want to do? I wanted to do something just now. Let's break in the RTO, and we'll get the type now called.
Hey Captain, let me know where you want this thing.
Okay, so we're going to pretty much taxi out for about here. We need to tell the ground handling to clear off. There we go. Okay, so we're going to come out.
Great news, Captain, your tow's coming.
Okay, so Tug's now going to drive us up. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to get on the centre pumps as well, which are checked. 1011, the Q&H coming out. Did it on the reserve gauge and for the first officers as well. Okay, 1011, which is set. Auto brake is RTO. And now we are ready for our before start chillers. So auto throttle can be armed, which is set. From there, left and right center fuel pumps are on. Electric hydraulic pumps are all on and set. Anti-collision lights on, and parking brake is set. So we're all ready to go now and leave out of the runway.
Alright, looks like the doors and hatches are closed and we're ready to connect.
Okay, so he's ready to connect. So yeah, the whole point of this flight, as I said, we was originally meant to land where we are right now in Conakry, but instead we're going over to Dakar because I found out how to get the weather radar working, and the whole point of this flight was for there to be quite a little bit of bad weather in the area for when we come down, so we can see what the weather radar does. So now it works. I'll show you it, and before we take off we'll turn it on, but there will definitely be something coming on Dakar, because if you look up Dakar on the world weather map, you'll see the weather up there in Dakar is completely covered and it's all moving over to the coast, and we're heading right onto the coast edge for Dakar.
Welcome aboard, Captain. Tows connected, bypass pins inserted. Go and kill the parking brake when you're ready to go.
Okay, so we'll turn the packs off, get the engine bleeds off as well. Probes will go on afterwards when we're all set and ready to go. APU gens on and your dampers checked. So what we can do now is I'm going to leave the wing light on, so any wing views we can actually see the wings when we leave. So we'll kill the parking brake and we're all ready to go.
Here comes the pushback. Light them up.
Okay, so what we can do is we'll go for engine number 2. So we get to see the lovely engines revving up. 25% into, 20% into, we'll inject fuel. 56%, engine start, cut out, we'll flick back. So we'll get engine number 2 now all revved in and ready to go. So 56%, and there's the start cut out gone. So we'll go over for engine at number 1 now. Also got the landing pole in as well, which I'll set up a few minutes before the arrival, so you guys can vote on what you think the landing rate will be tonight. 25% now, we'll inject fuel. We'll see engine number 1 now come to life. So tug's just pushing us round, ready for us to taxi down. We'll enter onto the runway and then we'll turn around and blast out. Okay, so there's start cut out gone, which is checked and set. Go overhead now, we've got all our lights off as well, which are set and checked. So, technically displaying its engine. Tug's going to stop us any minute. So, generator 1 and 2 can be switched over, which are set. Pro Ps can now go back on, which are also set and checked. Wing anti-ice is required, we don't need. Packs can go back to auto, which are set.
Just about done here, go ahead and set your parking brake.
Go ahead and set the parking brake, which will be set.
And we're disconnecting the tow. Give me just a moment.
Engine bleeds can now go off. APU can now go off. Switch over to APU, which will be set. And we should be ready to go. Now I already switched Gen 1 and 2 over, did I not? Yeah. Okay. It's not with it tonight, guys. So, let's get ready to call the tug. Go over to Gen 1, which will be set. Wait for him to leave, and then I'll turn on the weather. If you guys can hopefully see something, or at least when we start going up onto that ascent, you will definitely see something coming out. Because people have asked about the weather and said, like, you know, how do you get the weather radar to work? Well, on the Zibo, this will work.
And we're disconnected. Signal and pin on the left. Take it easy and have a safe flight.
Okay, see you soon, bye-bye. So he's all ready to leave and go. Now, what we can do is we'll just turn the transponder onto the TRA. So I'm on the weather radar now. We'll see if there's anything in the area. So right now there's nothing in the area. But what you have to do if you want the weather radar to work is you want to go over into your settings. You want to go to hardware and you want to make sure that XHSI is off. As long as that's off, your weather radar will work. So I found out today and it does work, so everything's all good now, and we'll have a fully working 737NG weather radar. So we'll put the weather on now. We'll get our taxis as well before a taxi checklist, so we can get our taxi lights, which will be set. Engine start switches can go to continuous, which are also set and checked. Everything else seems to be okay. We'll do our recall, which is clear. So we're all ready now to taxi down, so we're going to enter down onto runway 24, we'll taxi on down to the end, we'll turn around, and then hopefully blast out. Runway turn off lights if required. As you can see, we're literally going to taxi on straight. We've got our taxis right here, so we'll roll straight down and into run. So we can release the brake, and we'll power on up to runway 24. Okay, so 5:57. There we go. I believe about 5:43. I just want to get down into the lovely Dakar for around about 6:50. So we're going to follow it down onto the runway. We'll enter onto the runway, back taxi, and then turn around for 24 at the end. When we leave out, we're pretty much going to do a complete circle out. So the course heading out is going to be the 327, so we can use actually a VOR. So we're going to be backtracking inbound onto the 327. Once we come out and make a left-hand turn, and then we'll activate the LNAV after, check for any discords on our way out. So as we're going to enter down onto the runway now. So we get our strobes on, just get them checked. Runway tunnel lights can also go on, which I'll set. So we can go on to 50 knots on the runway. Okay, let's come back. Yeah, just need to come back on our time. About 1:43. Check up about 1:41. Turn around at the end. Let's come all the way down to the end. Then we'll line up, shoot out, ready to go to Dakar. So we'll turn the aircraft around, come down a little bit more, get all of the runway in. Okay, so we'll just line up. So there we are now, all set and ready to leave. Just want to check the legs, have a look quick. Addons X-Road 2000, it should have us all in and ready to go. Put the LNAV on, see what it does. If not, we'll track the VOR, which is all set for us. So we've got the engine start switches which are on and continuous. We can turn our taxis off, we can get the landing lights all on and set. Logo and everything is checked on our seat belts. Coming out, we can take off of our head and select. We can pre-arm the LNAV. 1011 and auto brake is RTO. So let's put on the map, which is checked. Got the weather on as well. So there's our right hand turn as we swing out, so we can release the brakes. Let's get our yoke as well so you guys can see input. So 40%, gonna hold on to the brakes, let the engine move up. Okay, full pressure on the yoke. And token. Okay, got flaps 5. We'll get them out, it should come out just before the takeoff anyway. So full pressure on the yoke. Airspeed line. 80 knots, check. Throttle hold. 100 knots, he's back on the column.
D1, rotate.
Rotate.
Positive grade.
You're up. Check. LNAVs are in, so we turn the auto brake off now. Gear can come off as we go to flaps 1. We're going to bug up to our flaps up speed, which will be set. As we just lower down on our pitch. 2,000 feet above, there's our flaps up speed now.
1,000.
1,000, now we'll go into our climb 1 speed. Right director will come back to us, and we'll hold on to our flaps up until we've made this left hand turn, which will take us onto the 327. So as we get ready to come in now, just hold on to the trim. Okay, there's a flight director. So we'll roll around now onto our left hand turn. We'll hold our flaps up and still we roll out. And then once we pass over our VOR, we can then put a VNAV in. Starts to speed up once we hit onto the 327 outbound. So as we pass around onto this left hand turn, just holding it up now, engine start switches can go off now, which they are both off and checked. Turn off the runway turn offs in just a second. As we just hold in on our pitch. Could go faster, but we want to keep within the procedural terms, so we'll just keep the aircraft, keep our flaps up. Because they want to go just at V2 speed, otherwise it would have been just a little bit too slow for us, I think. So everything's okay, not too bad. As we come around now, what we can do is we can activate autopilot, which is in. Just have the joystick in my hand, which is set. Let VNAV come in just after. We've got 216 for our flaps up, which will hold. We can now switch over the Q&H's over to standard. Which is set. Our first officer is set as well. As we make that left hand turn around, and now we are at our flaps up, and we've left the turn out. We can now go to the VNAV, where the aircraft is going to start to accelerate up. So we're just leaving out now of Conakry as we fly up direct to Dakar now. There's 250 under 10,000 feet. Once you hit over 10,000 feet, we can then get everything configured. Landing lights will go off. 10 degrees will knock on the engine anti-ice. Then we'll continue up onto our climb to 360. As you see, we've got the weather on. Nothing in the area as of now. As you see, it's really dark. Once we come down into that river, it's going to be absolutely a lovely view to see. So passing 10,000 now, landing lights can all come off. Engine start switches are off as well, which are set. Passing seatbelt signs can go off as well, see as everything's all good. Now the aircraft's going to pitch down, it's got to its acceleration speed, and we're going to go to our climb speed, which is going to be at 288 on the climb, and then for the cruise, Mach decimal 77. You see 400 miles, distance to go, estimated time of arrival 6:50, that's exactly where we want to be. If we can make up a few more minutes on the flight, that would be great. 6:50 is when the sun is going to be up, it's going to be probably up about 15 minutes before that, and that's when all them lovely views are going to come into play for us. So coming in on the arrival, we've got here the RNAV 401. So the reason it wasn't matching up is because we had the wrong arrival. So we want the 19. As you can see from here, Kilma or Rasmo. So what we can do is we'll go over Rasmo on the arrival. Which will be sat. If we have a look at our plan, I was wondering why the points weren't matching up when we was putting the flight plan. I was thinking, what well, they're not the transitions. So we're going to roll it all the way down. There's our top of the climb at Gulav. From Gulav, we're going to make our way down all the way to Bravo Juliet. Just right in front is our top of descent. Then we're then going to start our descent down into runway 19 for Dakar. As you can see on the arrival, we're going to come through. And then we're going to ride it all the way around and then rock in. So we're going to come in from Rasmo and then swing it all the way around. So once we get to VOR, we're then going to break off and then we'll join in and get ready to go. So take a look at that. On the 329 now, and which is set. Okay, so if I look at this, there's Corsair, so we don't really want. We could take out Rasmo, because Corsair's the one that's going to get in the way. So we're going to rock around Rasmo's Corsair's Delta Sierra 2-1. That's what we've done. And from Corsair, that's going to take us in straight for the intercept. Then we've got a clear cut. As we come straight in, we're going to leave from BJ. So from BJ, we'll go straight to Corsair. So we'll clear out Corsair. Rasmo in there. That should then fix the abnormality that was in. So we're going to rock to the VOR and then we're basically going to track right 3,000 above and then come straight down onto the arrival. And that matches up with where we're going to be. We're going to hit Rasmo, we're going to come off of the VOR at the runway and then we're going to come up straight around to Rasmo 3000 and onto 277 at Cosmo, which is our initial fix, max 230. We get left hand turn also 187 down onto runway 19. So there's everything we need. There's our minimums. Goes in use LNAV, VNAV, we're coming in on LNAV and VNAV. And there's our descent path all the way down to our minimums. 520 for 269. So that is it, pretty much. passing through 19,000 feet. Literally left, nearly left, as we're running pretty much parallel along the coast. Got the terrain. Have a look at the terrain, so we're right over the water. It's literally pitch black outside. But once we come down, it should start to get light at around. Forget to put the clock on. It should get light around about 15 minutes before we come in, so about 6:35, 6:30 it should start getting light. Then you guys will see X-Enviro come to life, and the wind's down there currently. You can have a look at the meters before Dakar. So, Golf Oscar Bravo Delta. We'll send that off and wait for it to come back. As you see, weather-wise, hasn't been no weather. It's actually come on yet. But down in Dakar, it should be really, should be bumpy. As we come down, the meter should be here now. So you can see there's rain broken at 900. You can see it's scattered at 2000 with Columbus, I think. Temperature's 23, 1011. So you can see the weather's not very good down there, which is going to be good for us as we'll try out and see what we can get on the landing rate as well. There's our top of climb coming in just around 80 nautical miles. So that's why I wanted to take you guys down to Dakar so you can see the weather radar work. It might not show nothing right now because there isn't nothing in the area down in Conakry. All the weather's pushed all the way up to the coastal line near Dakar, and it's been moving there across all this afternoon as I've been watching it, waiting to do the stream, and because it's obviously changed on the opposite direction, that's why now we're going straight back to Dakar, and we had to do that little bit of planning in the FNC because I didn't actually get to have a look at this properly. It was literally just a case of getting the chance because we switched ends and then jumped in ready to fly now. So QNH standard, which is checked, but we also brake, which is off, gears up and off as well. Everything's all good there. As we now go on to 360. Should see some weather coming when we do get down nearer. As we see, they're all low, the weather is. So once we get down into the arrival, that's when the sun's going to start to come up, and then we'll see them lovely clouds. We'll see what they've got in store for us when we do decide to come down. Okay, so returning to the centres, which are checked. -7 now as we climb through to flight level 250. It's completely jet black outside. Can't see anything. That should all change in roughly about 25 minutes. As I didn't want to do an evening arrival, as we planned it we planned it beforehand, and we get there a bit late. It's going to be pitch black when we get there, and then we're not going to be able to see anything when we're coming for the cinematics. So as we slowly make our climb up, you can see where we've left off with the VOR. Coming in on our arrival, we've got the Dias, which is the 1154, which we may as well set in early now. Okay, 154 is in. Once we get nearer to the VOR for Dias, we'll then be able to see it a little bit more clearly. So 1154, which is in. As we're going to be coming down from Banjul, which is 1129. Once Banjul comes in, then we obviously get a fix on how many miles away we are. You can see on the FMC. So on for our progress as well. 16 nautical miles to Kirti, then Gudev, currently 334, expected at 650, which is bang on for when we want to get there for. Current winds 109 at 13. Knot tailwind, crosswind to the right, still on the climb, 53 nautical miles to top of climb, 360 on the cruise, optimum 37, max 384, our target speed is decimal 77. So this little beauty here, like I said guys, if you want the weather radar to work, just make sure you go into your settings and you hit hardware and you make sure that XHSI is off. As long as that's turned off, when there is weather in the vicinity, that will turn on and off now, and the weather will come in, as I'll show you when we do come down on the arrival today, as this is the whole point of this flight, is to see that weather come up and test it out as well, to see how rocky it's going to be. So there's our top of climb. Coming down now. It's really dark. I would give you guys a wing view, but there isn't even nothing to look at. As it is really, really dark outside. So passing flight level 300. There's our top of descent at the end of BJ. Which is Banjul. Our top of descent runs just in front. We are ready to go. So 208 nautical miles. 208 nautical miles to go to our top of descent, 320. So on the VNAV, as we saw, top of descent is 206, 319. So it's 130, 112. So it's around 100 nautical miles out, 36, so 36,000 times by 3. So now approach through 300, the aircraft's now slowing down on its pitch rate as the air's getting a lot more thinner up above. 13 knot winds to the right. And we'll get there just a little early, hopefully. So 108 nautical miles we're going to make our top of descent from the airport, which will be enough as we come down. Hope you guys are having a great evening. We'll get the landing pole in as well when we do start coming down. It's just past 6 AM now in the morning up in Guinea, and the sun should start to rise very, very soon. So for our cruise checklist. Engine instrument monitor, fuel quality check, nothing, center tank, sensors are off and checked. Lights as required now, don't need the engine there. Runway turn-offs. From the before top descent, latest report should be showing as altimeter radios will be set. So we'll get everything all set at the inbound, ready to go. So the Bravo Juliet 01 kilo. This is right here. Let me have a look at that one quick. Bravo Juliet 1 kilo. We've currently got 2 kilo. 1 kilo done. So we'll basically run us around. We'll put Rismo in as well. Let's have a look. Have a look, see what other arrivals there was, because obviously that's the Bravo and Juliet 1 kilo, which will bring you straight in. We're going to come in for the RNAV approach, when informed by Rismo, and our initial approach fix, and then to our initial fix at 3000, max 230, make that left hand turn onto the 187. And then for Bravo Delta 504, which is going to be 8.5 DME out. That's where we're then going to basically start the descent on the 320 glide path and start to bring the aircraft down. So you can see the distance to runway 19 from the altitude as well. So as we step down, we can monitor that as well to make sure that the aircraft's following the right descent path. Steve, good evening, my man. Hope you're doing well, mate. How's your evening been? Now, as we ascending, sorry. Gulav 347, Comor 360, and then Bravo Juliet, Delta Sierra, and then Rismo and Cosmo, which is going to be set for us. I'm at the top of descent point. Comos, about 160 miles, you see 165 nautical miles from Bravo Juliet. We're going to make that right hand turn, which will lead us down from Bravo Juliet to the Delta Sierra, which is going to be 82 nautical miles from that point, and then 70 to Rusmo. So we set 108, which is going to bring us down. We take 3,000 off of the 36, because we're coming down to 3,000 feet. So from 36 it's going to be 33,000, which will give us 99. So 99 nautical miles is where we need to come down. If the top of descent is at Bravo Juliet, it is currently about 80-90, so 99 nautical miles to Rusmo. So that is pretty much bang on with calculations of the aircraft coming down into Rusmo for 3,000 feet. On the descent chart, max 230, 3,000, 269 at Delta Sierra, so it's only 230 below. And then we've got our descent all the way down for the runway. So there's Bravo Delta 504, which will be right in. There's Bravo Delta 504, which we'll have checked and cross-checked. When we come in, we'll have the RNAV up on here from the PFD, which will come up, as it will show just above on the PFD display. So there's the aircraft now levelling off to VNAV path as it levels for 360, as we're now going to continue in. Okay, so there you go, you can see now the sun is starting to slowly rise up. lights on so you guys can actually see out in the day. But it is there just in the distance. As the sun slowly starts to make its appearance down ready for Dakar. Our arrival we want is around 6:50 or before. So we're looking for 6:50 bang on the dot, which is fine as the sun's going to be coming up. Bravo Juliet, 145 on our nautical miles. Go back and check the metals. We can see that down in Dakar now. Weather's 160.07. Some rain broken at 900. A few clouds at 2000 Columbus. Temperature's 23.1011 on the QNH. Okay, so thunderstorm, light rain down in Dakar. So there we are, we're not too far out now from Comos, 68 nautical miles from Comos. Bravo Juliet's 138. As the sun's now starting to rise up. So we're not too far now from our top of descent. We'll start preparing the aircraft and ready to come in. As you can see, the sun's now starting to come up. So you're going to make that right hand turn. Then our top of descent for BJ, which is 123. Which will be the ventral VOR. You see the sun slowly starting to rise. Okay, so as you can see, we're just near our top of descent. We're going to come down into Ripso, going to be max 230 on our speed, and we're going to go down for 3,000 feet. We're going to basically come through from the VOR, coming down as we hit Dias, and then from Dias we're literally going to then spring around onto the right, which is then going to take us up to Ramos. From Bravo Juliet. Once we get to Bravo Juliet, it's going to be 82 nautical miles to Delta Sierra, and then 17 to Rusmo. So that is going to be our descent. We wanted around, it's around about, worked out around 108. So it's just about on point for the top of descent. Got at 90, 82, plus when we come down for Desmo. So we're going to be leaving from BJ, which will be 82 nautical miles to Delta Sierra. And then we'll go down to Rusmo, which will be in now. The weather radar is on as we start to come down. We can see the sun is starting to rise as the sun comes up today. And we've already checked down on the METARs, which we had a look at, and we can see there's thunderstorm and rain down in the area. QNHs are down here 1011, scattered at 2000. Columbus. We're broken at 900s, 23 degrees down, and the speed's 160 at 07. So should be a nice arrival. Hey Sim, how's it going, my man? Hope you're having a great evening. I will be flying the 787 soon. It'd be nice if we had a proper FMC, so we could do some real magic with it. But I will fly it soon, definitely, 100%. Guys have flown the Airbus A310. If any of you have got it, let me know what the aircraft's like to fly. I've got the A300, 600, I haven't got the A310, so if any of you guys have got that aircraft, just let me know what the aircraft's like. If it's different, better to the original A300. But I hope you guys are all having a great evening, as we are literally within range of coming down once we're on top of descent. So as you can see, we are 82 nautical miles down on the plan. You can see what we're going to do when we come down. So we're going to hit down to the Bravo Juliet. From there we'll make that little tiny right hand turn, which will take us then down onto Rusmo, and then from the VOR, that's when we make that right hand turn. Swing into the left from Rusmo to our initial fix, which is going to be for Como, and then Crozon. And we make that left down onto the runway. We can see it's going to pretty much be right here. We're basically going to leave the VOR, which is the runway. We're going to basically hit right hand turn from Rusmo, come onto the left, hit Cosm for the initial fix, and then make that left onto the 187. We're doing the RNAV, so we just use LNAV and VNAV. We get the minimums in 520 for 269 decision. Which is set. Once we pass the Bravo Juliet VOR, then I'll turn on the Dias VOR for the airport. Once we track in, so we've got 329 in, which we track in, and then we'll make that slight right, which will then take us on to the 350 to the Delta Sierra, which is Dias for the VOR. Coming down on the runways for 187. Setting on both. So we're going to be using LNAV and VNAV, as you can see. So here's the minimums for LNAV and VNAV. On a 3 degree we can go and get our speeds in that, so 67 to 56 on the 67. Basically our fuel quantity 67, we're going to have 5.6, so basically that's going to give us 1.1, which will be down. Take 1.1 of that, 66.5. So flaps 3149. All for the winds. I'm saying the wind's down. It's about 160 at 07. Which it was. So that'll be a +5 anyway. 66.5 on our braking. Temperature down is currently 23. Got 1011. Flaps 30. Everything else will be set. So VREF5 was 66.5. And there's all of our braking, which we can set as well. It should be set. So there's our top of descent coming in. We're going to be coming down for 3,000. By the time we get to the Delta Sierra, we'll be at 10,000. So we'll put 10,000 in to start with. And it should be set. And from 10,000, we'll go over into the VNAV. It's max 230. From Delta Sierra, it's only 17 nautical miles in. So from there, what we'll do is we're going to start to tell the aircraft to slow itself down on the descent. C240 to 230. And it should be set. So 230 under 10,000 feet. There's the lovely sun coming up. Let's just get ready for that right hand turn. Which will bring us down and ready for the DIAS VOR. So we're currently in, got the weather radar, which is also in and set for our descent down on the progress. You can see everything in here. Also wanted to do quickly, so have a look. So, 46 nautical miles out now, then we start to come down for DIAS for 1011, which we can set in. And which is set. 1011 will go in from there, transition level, which will be ATC. It says here 3,500, so we'll keep the standard in until we get to about 4,000, something like that. It should be right for us. So weather is on, everything set for it to appear. If it does, as the METARs are saying, that it's not very nice down there. The sun's coming up more and more now. On our progress 651, which is fine. As we're now going to basically switch over from the Bravo Juliet and Jules VOR down to the DIAS. And then take that right hand turn, which will lead us on to the 350. So as you see, there's the RNAV pops up now for 187, which is we've got cross-check for both courses. And we can see where we are out on runway 19, which is also set. Going 118 nautical miles out. When we do come down again, get ready for the centre of the Bravo Delta 504, which will be our final approach point. So at that point, I'm going to have flaps down, flaps 15, gear down. When we do come down onto that descent, so the aircraft doesn't have no problems when it comes down on this descent path. If we're looking on our speeds, we've said we've got a flaps 3149 as we also for the weight, plus 5, which is 154, so about 800 to 810 on the descent. Good evening, my man. Hope you're doing well, pal. Just in time for the arrival, as we're currently 30 miles out from the Jules VOR. Just going over the arrival, just saying basically we're going to get ready on that descent, which measures the final approach fix. I'm going to come down that 3-degree glide path and make sure that the aircraft's at least got flaps 15 gear down to start coming down on that descent. So that if there is anything, the aircraft can't slow down or anything, at least we're actually prepared and configured when we should be, instead of waiting for that descent to happen. We're not doing the E and either. There's a nice overlay used to be there, but we're running LNAV and VNAV. We come in on arrival in just around 20 minutes time. We're just going to make that right hand turn to the 350. Check the METARs again just before. Unfortunately, I forgot to set up the landing rate for the overlay. That was one thing I did forget to do tonight, so I don't think we'll have the landing rate plug-in. We'll hold the poll so you guys can vote on what you thought it would be, and we'll just see what it says when we touch down. So I'm still waiting for this lovely weather to come in. We'll just start to see it once we start the descent, and then we'll see that lovely weather radar start to come in and work for us. So we've got the MCP altitude set for 10,000 feet, which is ready to start descent. 20 nautical miles out from the top of descent. We could descend now. If we press descend now, the aircraft will go into 1,000 foot a minute descent until the vertical deviation comes on for the VNAV path, until it catches it. I'm not going to do that. The aircraft can come down on its own accord. Coming from 360, it's got another 90 miles to come down on the descent, so it should have enough time to come down as we roll up. So there we go, we're just getting ready to go. We can put our fasten seatbelts, which can go on and set. Just getting ready to pass over Bravo Juliet. So switch DIAS in, which is 93.6. And then we can see for the RNAV, we are currently at 95 nautical miles out. Winds are currently not too bad. There is clouds, 2,000 feet, Columbus, thunderstorms, light rain. So it should be a nice arrival, especially for the X-Enviro. You guys should see that come to life as well. As you can see, the sun's coming up. Looks like a Robinson's fruit pastel lolly. All the colours of the rainbow. So we're going to get ready now for our descent checklist. There's the top of descent now. We go to 350, which is set. We've got 25 degrees of bank, which is set. Then we've got 10,000 set on the MCP window, so we should see the vertical deviation come up any minute now once we come in to that right hand turn. And then we're going to track the VOR to the DIAS VOR, which is right here, onto the 350, ready to come inbound. So on our descent, we've got the anti-ice, which is currently on and checked. Landing altitude is checked as well, 300 for 290. Recall, which is clear. Radio altimeter Barrow, we've got 520 MDA for our minimum, it's coming down on LNAV and VNAV for the RNAV, which is 629, and our decision height, which is also checked. Auto brake, we can take any auto brake, but we'll take auto brake number 3 as it is raining, apparently. And altimeter is set to local passing transition level. So passing transition level, which we're going to say is about 4,000, 3,005 is transition altitude, so we'll say level is around 4,000 feet once we pass through. As the aircraft's now going to go into its top of descent, vertical deviations there, and now the aircraft's going to start to descend down from flight 360, ready for 10,000 by the time we get down into DIAS. Hopefully now we should start to see some weather appear on the radar as we come down. Now we're coming in, we'll get one more fix on our METARs. Send that off one more time. So now we're tracking 350 to the Delta Sierra, which is the DIAS VO1. Should be 255, 10,003 once we get there. We're just slowly speeding up just a little. So speed brakes. There's don't want them all the time, as it is going to slow the aircraft down. There's 263. Passing through flight level 334, coming down about 2,600 feet. So if we check down on the VNAV, you can see our flight path angle is 3.4, the vertical bearing is 3, the vertical speed to come down at 4. Our waypoint, which is Rusma, which is 3.6 on the flight path angle, we need to get to 3.0 as the aircraft's now starting to descend down through 2008. Following the VNAV path as we are coming down now, ready for our arrival for the RNAV onto runway 19, which we can see is there on the PFD. So on the descent, we've practically done everything on the descent, check weather and ATOS, we're going to check the weather now one more time. So it's 1705, so it's gone down by 1, got broken at 9, and again it's a few at 2000. When we check it, just to double check, got the right meters. 1011, which is checked. Visibility is 8,000 meters, which is checked. Temperature is 23, which is set. Thunderstorms 2,000 Columbus, as we can see, which we said was there, and a broken at 900 feet, which is also set. So thunderstorms in the area. So let's hope that the radar does come to life. As I say, to get it working, again guys, all you've got to do is basically go to your settings, go to your hardware, make sure the XHSI is turned off, and if there's weather there to be seen, it will be there. Hopefully you guys get to see it today when we come down, so then you can understand that it will work, because I haven't seen it working in such a long time, that I actually had a look today to see why it wasn't working, and somebody in the forum said that if you turn that off, it should make it work. So I turned it off, and yeah, it did work. There was some weather down in Conakry, where we just come from, Conakry. There was little sparses of weather around, and that was when we was originally going to do Dakar to Conakry. But now we've gone up to Dakar because, as I said, the weather's moved from that part of the coastal line. It's gone all the way up to the top. It's moving all over Dakar, so the weather should come in as we are 54 nautical miles now, passing through flight level 270. Set the altimeter back for 4,000 feet as we're going to appear down into the runway. So let's just hope that we do see some weather come up on the navigational display, and then you can see the problem solved for anyone that has to wonder why the weather doesn't work. Also break number 3. Let's have a look at the runway when we come down. Okay. So once we come in from 19, we can then come off at Charlie 5, turn around for Alpha, and then slip in onto Alpha 3, which will be straight in front of us for the turn. So there we're going to hit for 10, which was at the Delta Sierra, and then 3,000, under 10,000 feet, we put it for max 230, it's only 17 nautical miles, so what we can do is we can get 220, okay, which is checked, because I'm going to leave the VNAV in the whole time, I'm not going to open the speed intervention this time. I'm going to basically just let the aircraft do what it needs to do, and adjust the speed through the FMC. I'm not going to open up speed intervention, so then the aircraft can come down the VNAV path. When they did open it up the other day, it did go back into VNAV speed, so just use the FMC and put it down, just change its speed rest at 10,000 below 220, because we need max 230 by the time we get to Rusma. Max 230, 3,000. We're going to come straight into the VOR, and then basically make that right hand turn from the VOR, then come round onto the left hand end. So we can see now that the sky is starting to come up as that lovely weather's coming in. put speed brakes just a little. As we come in, our arrival down is at 6:51, so sun will be out by 6:51. As you can see, the airport's right there in front of us. I'm just slowing the speed brakes in now. Still tracking the 350 in. And 3,000 above. That's going to be all the way for Cosm, and then the Bravo Delta 504, which is going to be 8.5 DME, is where we're going to start our arrival in. Flaps have been geared down, ready for that descent down. Decision altitude 8.5, and then there's our missed approach point. So, passing through flight level 200. Everything's practically done on the descent checklist. We've got some lovely views outside the window. As we can see, the sun's now coming up, ready to come in for a lovely Dakar. What we can quickly do is, even though we haven't got the plug-in, not going to be able to get the landing rate in tonight. Did forget to put it on. As you can see, that's why it says not available. So apologies for that, guys, but we'll make it worthwhile as we come in. But you can see the lovely colour. The sky looks so lovely with X-Enviro. It's one nice thing about it. It's a bit pricey, but it's worth it. And if they do any performance upgrades on it, it would be absolutely fantastic to have a really nice weather engine like this. Okay, as we pass through 18,000 feet now. QNH is going over, so we'll switch QNH back over. 1011. Okay, which is set. 17,005. Now 22 nautical miles from Nvidia. Auto brake number 3 is set. Going for flaps 30, which is going to give us a 153 plus 5. So past 16,004. Past 16,000, you can see the airport is just in view as the sun slowly starts to lift up now, ready for that lovely approaching 3,000 feet, 40 RNAV. As we'll track from 350 then inbound to the 24, which will take us to Russell. So there was no weather here for us apparently, unless when we get even lower, sun might appear. But earlier on when I came down here, there was a little bit showing up on the navigational display. So it does work, I suppose, when it wants to. There actually is some rough weather. So 14,003, we're going to slow to 220 on that right turn, which is then going to take us down. And there is a lovely view for us to come on to the 024. So I'm going to need the Dias VOR in as we come down. We're doing the RNAV with the LNAV and VNAV, just making sure, as you used to ask if you wanted to glide slope or not, we don't. There's the LNAV and VNAV path, there's the RNAV 19. I'm going to be doing the EM. Airport's just going overhead now. 12,009, which is checked. Engine start switches can now be continuous, which are set. Temperature's 13, so engine anti-ice can now go off. As we're going to get ready to go into that 24, so from 10,000 we're going to drop down to 3,000 feet, which is our initial fix. nautical miles. And we'll track in onto the 024. So for the approach checklist, coming down we've got the altimeters which are checked from 1011, which are set and cross-checked on either side. After that we've got the VORs in, which is the 11540, which is cross-checked on the first officer side, which is checked. We've got the reserve gauge, which is the 1011, which is also set and checked. Coming in for the RNAV approach, we've got auto brake set for number 3, engine start switches are continuous, which are set, and the landing flaps will be set when we come down. Flaps 15 will be set before the Bravo Delta 504. There's 10,000 feet now as we move on to the 24, so I'm going to put on the landing lights. And I'll move on to that right hand turn before the 024, which is also set. And as we open up the speed brakes now, we should start to decel down to 220. So we are going to continue going down. 220 is going to be in, max 2304 Rusmo. Okay, which can go in now. As you can see, get the throttles in as they're on arm. When they're in arm, you can actually move them yourself as they cut from the servo. But you see the MCP speeds back in, so put it to 220 now. Through the FMC, I'm not going to open up the speed windows, but it's to stay in VNAV path for the descent down as we do the RNAV approach in. So we're leaving outbound now from the VOR for the airport. Currently 5 nautical miles out. We're now heading out to Rusmo, which is basically going to be right here. From Rusmo, basically going to make that left-hand turn to swing in for Corsair for our initial fix, and then intercept onto the 187. Once we get to the Bravo Delta 504, which will be 8.5 DME out, that's where we're going to start our descent down on the 3-degree glide path. We're coming in for around about 810 feet per minute, 20 feet per minute, and on the minimums we've got MTA 520 for 6269 on the decision height. So LNAV and VNAV, missed approach point is at decision altitude. Coming in on the 187, we'll make sure we've got flaps 15 geared down before we go down in the descent. And we've got the distance to runway 19, so we've got our altitude reference points as well, which we can set. And as you can see, we've got a lovely view coming down into Dias. So 3,000 we're meant to be coming down in for, as we've got Corsair, and then there's the Bravo Delta 504. So as you can see, 230, 3,000 above 3,000 and 3,000 for the Bravo Delta. So as we pass through 8,000 feet now, I'm going to slip into that left-hand turn, which takes us on to the 277. feet, which is set. So we'll start to bring the control columns over now. Okay, so that was just me. Okay, so I'll speed brakes open now. Flaps up, coming on the left, which is the 277, which is set, passing through 6,000 to 8. Speed brakes are open now, whilst we swing around. So yeah, altimeters are set for 1011, we've got the auto brake set for number 3. Landing lights are currently on, passing through 6,002. Go into that left-hand turn now. By the time we get to the Bravo Delta 504, that's what it will be for 3000. Got the VORs and got the RNAV all ready to go. As soon as the aircraft comes in for 3000, that's when we'll pop in. So I don't want to open the speed brake and the flaps at the same time. So what I'm going to do is get the speed brake in, put flaps 5 in to start. Then he's coming for 3000. It's probably going to start to speed. So I'm switching for level change first. That's probably going to be off of the course now. Hopefully that was a little bit too high. Get it down quick enough. Should be alright. Flaps 5, 3000 feet. Put that down to the minimums. Coming down for around 820 feet per minute. So we'll see what happens as we come in. You see there's a Bravo Delta, which is not very far at all. 4003. Might drop down. Flaps 5, and then into flaps 15, gear down. Okay, the speed come down, 4000. It's flaps 15, which is it here.
1,000 to go.
Let the VNAV come down. 3000 in, we'll go to our minimums, which is 520. To 600 feet, which should be set. Okay, there's our flaps 15 passing through 3000 feet. Aircraft's coming down at a steep descent angle. We'll come back in just a few moments. We can see the vertical deviation coming up. So the aircraft will start to pitch up a little now. About 750. As we slow down for our flaps 15. So 2006.
2500.
2500, which is checked. Gears down 3 green. Roll down now. Onto the runway, as we can see. So, currently now 6 nautical miles, we go to flaps 30. 153 coming in. And we are all set now, ready for the arrival. So at 5 DME we needed to be at 8.5 to 5, 1009. So we are on target coming down. You can see the runway in sight. Next point will be 4 DME is going to be for 1580. Okay, so 4 DME is 1580. So 4 DME 1580. So we are bang on profile. You can see we're all there. We're fully established now, ready to come in. Got our minimums which are set and checked. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to disconnect autopilot and auto throttle, and now I have control of the aircraft.
1,000 feet, stabilized, Mr. Perch, altitude set.
Okay, so we're just a little low. So just lift up a little. There we go, 2 line. Come back down to the descent, looking for around about 820. didn't actually get to see any of the weather come up on the radar. That's pretty unfortunate, as it was there earlier on today when the wind was gusting. So as we get to come off now, speed rates will be retracted, we get our flaps up, which will be set, and as we pull off now, ready to go to stand. So this should be Charlie 5, which will check in just a few minutes time. It's great to be on. Okay, so there's Charlie 5, which we're on. Now we're going to basically take a left-hand turn now to go over to stand. So we can get our landing lights, which can all go off, which are checked. Runway tunnels, we did put them on. Taxis can go on. Start switches can go off. We get our position lights, which can be checked. Wing can now go off along with the APU, which can be set. Okay, so low pressure, which is there. Seatbelts can go on, and we'll take that left-hand turn now, ready to go back to the gate. Hello, good evening, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope everybody's doing well and enjoyed the arrival in, as we'll go down to the cinematics in just a few moments' time. Once we get into the stand, we'll take the second right. The second right is going to take us right in onto the terminal block, and that's pretty much it for the arrival, guys. So we managed to just get back on ready for the RNAV descent, as I didn't think it was going to make it down for 3,000 off the VNAV. That's why it's always best to calculate. So it was just literally, it was probably a few miles short of what it really needed to be. So as we come down on the taxi now, we're going to go down to Alpha, we'll take the second right, which is then going to lead us down into the terminal on Alpha 3. So the aircraft's all in and done. Flight directors can now go off, which are set. Okay. So there's the APU, switch the APU over. Taxi lights are on. Now we can take this right now to Alpha 3. So what I'll do tomorrow, guys, is I'll try and find somewhere with really bad storms so I can actually see the weather radar work properly, because I saw it today when it was gusting. The wind down in Dakar earlier on, Conakry, it was gusting 25 and it was setting off the radar, the weather radar on the navigational display. So it does work, it just didn't show itself this evening. But if you want that to work, go into the hardware settings on the Avitan and then hit the, go to hardware, and then you want to hit the XHSI, and you want to turn that off if you want the radar to work. So that's what I did, and it does work. If you put the weather on to a thunderstorm and then turn it on, you should see it come to life. We've got the 737NG style on the terrain radar, which we've got in, but nothing seems to have showed up on this one, unfortunately. So what I will do is I'll leave you with the landing cinematics as well, so you guys can have a look at that on the way down. And tomorrow we'll go somewhere that's a little bit more rocky, should we say. As I do, would definitely want to show you that weather radar, because a lot of people have been telling me how do you get it to work, and I'm in the same boat as you guys. I don't know how to get it to work. So we'll start to stop now. There's the trigger for the brakes, a little bit dodgy. There we go. Parking brake doesn't work either. But we'll get the engines turned off now. That's nice of you. There is Tunisair shutting down, ready for you guys to see. So I'm going to leave it for the landing cinematics, and then I will see you tomorrow for the next flight on the channel, guys. So take it easy, and I will see you all very soon. So what we'll do is we'll set everything up so we can get it all in. and you guys can see a lovely arrival as we come in off of the clouds, which look absolutely fantastic. There we go. So